What's good? It's your boy Twiz. You guys heard about how last week NBA 2K was announced that it might be more than the $60 base price? That's right, they're talking about upping the base price of the game from $60 to $70 for the next gen consoles. A lot of people complained about it, and a lot of people didn't like it, but this is what Phil Spencer has to say about it. Gotcha, motherfucker! Gotcha, motherfucker! Xbox boss Phil Spencer responds to the increased price for the next gen games.
As an industry, we can price things whatever we want to price them, and the customer will decide what the right price is for them, Spencer said. I'm not negative on people setting a new price point for games because I know everybody's going to drive their own decisions based on their own business needs. But gamers have more choice today than they ever have. In the end, I know the customer is in control of the price that they pay, and I trust that system.
I mean, sure, that sounds good on paper. Really, there's nothing wrong with the words in and of themselves, except for when you understand how Microsoft as a company functions. You see, Microsoft does not try to deliver a fair and balanced product to its customers. Oh no, Microsoft tries to find your limit. Microsoft starts at the high end. They start overcharging, only lowering prices and improving things if customers complain.
Xbox One's launch price. Microsoft clearly didn't learn from Sony's pricing blunder last generation. While the Xbox 360 initially dominated the 7th gen due to its more attractive price tag, the opposite was true for the 8th. The Xbox One was originally sold in a single package, which contained the console, a controller, a 500 gig hard drive, and a Kinect, for $500.
But this is just the beginning.
Due to the inclusion of that stupid Kinect, the Xbox One was priced $100 more than the PS4, and sales were significantly hindered as a result, with budget-conscious gamers flocking towards Sony. Once Microsoft dropped the Kinect down the price, sales shot up, and the Xbox One is continuing its upward trajectory to this day. Lesson learned, we hope.
He says that he hoped Microsoft learned their lesson. Oh no, no, no. By the time this video is over, I hope you, the consumer, learn your lesson. Before I get started, I do want to debunk a common misconception. I often have it said to me that yes, the Xbox One costs more money because it had a Kinect bundled in, but because every Xbox One had a Kinect, it would have caused developers to make more games for the Kinect, so still the consumer would have won. I greatly disagree. I don't believe Microsoft put that Kinect in there for you. They didn't do that for your gaming experience. They did that for themselves. I give you Exhibit A.
Are you okay?
This Kinect patents is terrifying once they charge you for license violations. I bet many of you never heard of this. Here, let me show you another one. Microsoft patents TV that watches back, counts heads, and charges admission.
Here's a scenario for you. At some point in the near future, you sit down in front of your Xbox 720 961,080ths and queue up a little video on demand from the live arcade selection of movies. You select a film from the menu and, before you can press the play button, you are greeted with another menu giving you several price points, depending on how many people will be watching. It sounds ridiculous, but Microsoft has applied for a patent covering a method that could make this a reality. GeekWire, via Slashdot, has the details on a patent application utilizing the Kinect, or its successor, to count noses for content providers.
This patent was filed during the Xbox 360 days, and it clearly says here that this technology was intended for the successor to Kinect, or for the Kinect itself in the future. Now, what future product from Microsoft had the Kinect in it? Bingo.
The patent application, filed under the heading, Content Distribution Regulation by Viewing User, proposes to use cameras and sensors like those in the Xbox 360 Kinect controller to monitor, count and in some cases identify the people in a room watching television, movies and other content. The filing refers to the technology as a consumer detector. In one scenario, the system would then charge for the television show or movie based on the number of viewers in the room. Or, if the number of viewers exceeds the limits laid out by a particular content license, the system would halt playback unless additional viewing rights were purchased.
Now you gotta admit, this is pretty fucking unbelievable. If I didn't fucking have the shit right on the screen, you wouldn't believe a word I'm saying right now, would you? I mean, look at this! Look at this!
Again, that person's sticking out with like a sore thumb with the Stadia sweaty shit.
Oh, he just did heroin. He's doing heroin in the middle match. Now, I want you to rewind the clock and think about this clearly. Microsoft and Sony were both releasing brand new consoles at the same time, the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. Now I want you to think about this. What made Microsoft think they can get away with charging more money than their competitor? What made them think they can get away with forcing you to always be online? What made them think they can get away with having a weaker system that costs more? It's because of Microsoft fanboys. People who enjoy playing some of Microsoft's games so much that they cheer the company on in everything they do, even though they're not actively paying attention to what the company is doing compared to their competitors. They just blindly throw money towards Microsoft. Look, I understand how people can feel that way. Back in the day growing up, it seemed like companies actually cared about video games, at least more than they do now. It feels like they actually tried to do right by the customer. But that was before Microsoft got in there. That's before modern gaming. Now it's very clear that the people who are in control of gaming, the people who run the companies, are not gamers. They're just businessmen trying to make money. And Microsoft is one of the worst at doing this. Microsoft doesn't want to really give you the best product possible. They want to give you a product that's good enough to get you to just blindly pay for whatever they do. They'll talk nice to you. They'll pretend like they're your friends, and they'll even throw you a bone every once in a while. But once they got you to the point where you're not paying attention, they're going to milk you dry, dude. I mean, they must think you're pretty fucking stupid if this is going on. While PlayStation is doing this.
This is how you share your games on PS4. Thanks.
PlayStation.
Microsoft is doing this.
Fortunately, we have a product for people who aren't able to get some form of connectivity. It's called Xbox 360.
Right. So stick with 360. That's your message if you don't, like it?
If you have zero access to the internet, that is an offline device.
You know what message I got from this? If you're a Microsoft supporter, Microsoft will try to fuck you in the ass. And they won't do so with lube. They're going to go in fast and dry. Now again, I bring you the wisdom of Phil Spencer, current head of Microsoft Gaming.
As an industry, we can price things whatever we want to price them, and the customer will decide what the right price is for them.
And fortunately, the customer did decide. They saw PlayStation doing this.
Thanks.
And Microsoft doing this.
Right. So stick with 360. That's your message.
And it was a no-brainer. They were not going to pay more money for an inferior product, so the Xbox One did not sell well at first. So what did Microsoft do to get back in the players' good graces? Got you, motherfucker. Sorry, Game Boy. Nighty night, Game Boy. Nighty night, Game Boy. Nighty night, Game Boy. Nighty night, Game Boy.
What happened?
I teabagged this motherfucker's way out. Microsoft lowers Xbox One price to $400 without the Kinect. Hey, what do you know? Phil Spencer was right.
The customer will decide what the right price is for them.
Wow, it looks like Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, was right. The customer does determine the price. Now that I think of it, this has happened before.
And get your vaguely Aryan cries of superiority ready, PC gamers, because you now get one more thing for free that console gamers have to pay for. Xbox Live.
Yeah, that's a thing. At GDC, Xbox chief Phil Spencer talked more about the ways he wants to bring PC and console gaming closer together with Windows 10 and Xbox One.
You see, the Xbox One sold so poorly that the online games were barren and people had nobody to play with. So in a desperation to get more people to buy the games as well as play the games multiplayer, they let PC gamers play as well. But here's the thing about PC gamers. We will not pay to play online. I have a PlayStation 4 right now. I will not pay for PS Plus or PS Online or whatever the fuck they call it. I don't even know what it's called. I won't pay it. You're not gonna charge me a fee to go online. That is fucking ridiculous. But you know who will pay it? Console gamers. Do you think Xbox Live Gold should be free?
I don't mind the cheap costs for a great service.
I get that, but would you like it even better if it was free for the same service? You know, like the PC players are getting?
We are okay with it. Plus we are big fans of Halo. When you make enough money, $5 a month isn't a big deal.
You know what I always say to people who make this argument about X amount of money isn't a big deal? If you don't think $5 a month is a big deal, then you're free to send $5 a month to me every month. In fact, become a channel member and a channel sponsor and show me how much $5 doesn't matter to you.
I think everything that comes with Xbox Live is worth the price. Though I can agree that a free-to-play game should be able to be played regardless of live status. I can also agree on something with Play Anywhere titles getting multiplayer access as well.
Again, these people just don't mind paying money for something that is obviously free. There's a reason PC players don't pay for the exact same service, because we won't pay it. But because you will pay it, they make you pay it. They don't care about what's good for you. They don't care about what's fair for you. They care about how much you're willing to spend, and they will exploit it.
I want an online service that works well, happy to pay a small amount for it. Not everything in life should be free because people don't want to pay. If you don't want to pay for it, don't.
Every free online service I use regularly is actually pretty good. I don't see the difference between it and Xbox Live, aside from the fact that on the console you have to pay for Xbox Live. I can use your same service on PC for free. Why don't you guys get this? He got me! Game Boy got me! Don't you do it, Game Boy! Don't you know! Game Boy, don't you know! No, stop! Stop! He put a mouse in my face!
I don't need it to be free. I just need it to be cheaper. The price is crazy. I used to be able to get it in Canada, on sale for $39.99 for the year. Now I only ever see it on sale for $59.99. I haven't had gold in a few months because all my money is tied up in renovations and the price tag of it now kills me.
Wait a minute, I thought somebody was saying earlier that just a few dollars a month is no big deal. You see, obviously it is for some people. Man, if Microsoft really cared about their customer, they would just let you play the games that you purchase for free. I mean, in fact, letting you play online for free would probably let you buy more games that you can enjoy. So you would win and Microsoft would win. But nah, they'd rather go this route. They rather gate you from enjoyment. I can't really get mad at Microsoft because they tell you that's what they're doing. I mean, that's what Phil Spencer said.
The customer will decide what the right price is for them.
And it looks like the overall majority of console gamers decided the right price was not free. Hey, at least we don't pay for it on PC because we never will.
So here's where we get into a bit of a sticking point. I mean, ever since Xbox Live rolled out at the end of 2002, Xbox gamers have been paying monthly subscriptions for access to multiplayer. In fact, it's been such a successful move that even Sony moved to a similar approach with PlayStation Plus on the PS4, whereas multiplayer was free on the earlier generations of that console.
Not the case with PC, which has always been sort of the wild west of multiplayer gaming, and proud of it. And the idea of paying for access to multiplayer is unheard of. Obscene.
You know, it kind of sucks because you fucked it up for everybody. I mean, the PlayStation 3 had internet for free. The Nintendo Switch had internet for free. But because they saw that you guys were willing to pay for it, they got a little bit ballsy and they decided to charge as well. And what do you know? Now it's a permanent thing. You can expect from now on, any console that goes online is going to have a monthly fee. And it's thanks to you guys.
Hey, cue all hell breaking loose. Not from the PC players, obviously, since announcing that nothing is changing is not really that interesting, but from the console players, who are suddenly feeling a little hard done by.
Yeah, and thanks to this announcement, console players are taking a hard look at the discrepancies in pricing for access to online features in the same games.
You see, and this is what I was trying to warn you about. This is what I was trying to tell you. You're gonna wait till after the fact, after you see somebody else put their foot down and somebody else refuse to pay. Now you're mad at your paying. Here's an idea. Look at the landscape. Look at where you're at right now. If you're paying for Xbox Live Gold right now, why? Why were you paying for it a year ago? You contributed to this problem. You paying for it is a reason you continue to pay for it. If you don't think it's fair, stop paying for it, dude.
Is this going to spell the end of Xbox Live Gold subscriptions as a gateway for online gaming? Lawrence, what do you think?
Definitely not. There's no reason that it would. The problem is, once you have people paying for something, they can complain about it all they want as long as they keep paying for it, and they...
Yeah, complain about it, but keep paying it. Let's see how that works. Moving on. Again, you gotta be careful with Microsoft. This isn't the company you just trust to put their best foot forward. They are going to try to fuck you first, and then they'll wait and see if you complain before they fix their services. I mean, hell, dude, they were really trying to force people to get Xbox Live Gold back in the day. Let me show you.
I'm sorry.
81 features. There are 81 features locked behind Xbox Live Gold.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't even think it was that many. Holy shit.
Down below is a link to where you guys can see the article I wrote about it. How it's unfair for the consumers and the gamers.
No, no, no. According to the head of Xbox Gaming, Phil Spencer, it's up to the consumer to determine what is fair and what is right for them. Don't worry though, I'm sure if you complain, Microsoft will improve the services and lower the cost. They're just hoping that you don't complain.
And how Microsoft is essentially making platforms that are made to sell Xbox Live Gold.
We are definitely going to come back to that part.
What I'm going to do right now is that I'm going to scroll all the features right here. And you guys can see for yourself how when you don't have Xbox Live Gold, you pretty much have a useless piece of hardware sitting in your house. A lot of these features make no sense as to why they're back behind a paywall. I mean, for God's sake, game DVR. You have to pay Microsoft just so that the game that you purchased $60 for to record footage of it on your hard drive that's on the Xbox? Does that make sense? Why should you pay Microsoft for a feature that's ran by the machine itself? Please explain that. The Pizza Hut application. Why do you have to pay Microsoft $60 a year just so that you can order a pizza from your Xbox? Explain that. Look at Skype. Skype is built into TVs now. It's built into home phones. You can use it on cell phones, tablets, computers. There's just a wide variety of applications for Skype across a wide variety of pieces of hardware. I mean, for God's sake, home phones are coming with Skype now. But for some strange reason, you can't use it for free on the Xbox One.
And the reason Microsoft was able to do this, the reason they were able to lock everything behind the paywall, because during the last console generation, the Xbox 360 was dominating PlayStation 3, at least at the beginning. Over time, the PlayStation 3 started selling more and more and more to where it actually threatened the dominance of the Xbox 360. In response to that threat, Microsoft did this. Xbox owners now have free access to HBO, Netflix, and other apps as Microsoft pulls down paywall. And after doing so, they tried to frame it and promote it as if they were doing a favor to their community, when Sony never charged for these features at all. It's amazing how Microsoft charged you for something they shouldn't have, and then when they took it away, it was promoted as if they were doing you a favor. This is how this company behaves. Dude, you see that fucking blood? Oh shit! Oh, look at this! Look at this synchronized, y'all! Oh, look at this! Alright, now we got that out of the way. I have just shown you that Microsoft has a history of underperforming and providing a lackluster product at an insane price. And they leave it up to the customer to determine, do you like what you're getting or do you want us to do better? In case of the internet for consoles, the customer was happy to pay for it, so the customer will continue to pay for it. But when it comes to things like the Xbox One, nobody wanted to pay for it, so guess what? They slashed the price, removed the Kinect, and made it a better overall service. And you know what? They went one step further. To sweeten the deal even more, they created the Xbox Game Pass. This service right here is the Netflix of games. It's what we always wanted but never got, and we only got it because the Xbox One bombed. We had to refuse to pay for the Xbox One. The Xbox One had to get its ass kicked by the PlayStation 4 to force Microsoft to do the right thing, to force Microsoft to create a service that's profitable for itself and also awesome for its customer. I think it's sad what we had to go through to get Microsoft to create this, because mark my words, if the Xbox One sold very well, if the Xbox One dominated the market and crushed the PlayStation, we would not have a Game Pass, guys. This is what happens when you put your foot down and you say, no, that's not good enough. You have to do better. And Microsoft will listen, because Microsoft is a company and they do want to make money. But before they actually try to put in real work, before they try to do right by you, they're gonna try to screw you and fuck you to make money. Only when you don't let them fuck you in the ass. Only when you refuse to give them money. Only when you're paying attention to what they're doing. Only then will they do the right thing. So once again, the Game Pass is wonderful. I have no complaints about the Game Pass. It's great. But let's move on to the cloud gaming segment of this, because trust me, it all ties in. Now, at this point, I'm sure you're wondering, why am I talking so much about Microsoft and the past of Microsoft? You guys mostly know me as a cloud streaming content creator, mostly Stadia. Well, it's all coming full circle. You see, to understand where you're going in the future, you have to understand your past. So let's talk about how this relates to the cloud, how this relates to Stadia, how this relates to PlayStation Now, and how this relates to Xcloud. Let's look at the cost of each service individually. First off, we have PlayStation Now, $9.99, $10, alright, looking good. Hundreds of incredible games on demand. Get instant access to a huge collection of more than 800 PS4, PS3, and PS2 games on PS4 or PC, with new games added every month. Hey, that doesn't sound bad at all, really. Odd, here we go, Stadia Pro. Well, as you can see, the access to Stadia is free, meaning once you have access to a game on Stadia, either by paying a pro fee or buying a game individually, you can play the game for free. They don't charge you to stream it, they just charge you for access to the game. Let me elaborate on that a little bit more. Let's assume you don't want to pay a monthly fee. Let's just assume you want to play 1 or 2 games, so you'd rather just buy the games outright as opposed to having a reoccurring bill. There's a red thing.
Oh, he fell off, he was stuck there.
Oh, dumbass motherfucker. Stadia gives you that option. You can just buy the game and you never have to pay a dime again. Even though you're streaming it from Stadia servers, you pay that one fee for the game and you can play it and stream it forever at no additional cost. If you do decide to pay the fee for Stadia Pro, which is $10 a month, same cost as PS Now, it will behave just like PS Now. You will be given access to a new slew of games every month. So once again with Stadia, no matter how you get access to your games, either by paying a flat fee for the game individually or paying a monthly fee and playing some of the free games on there, once you have access to the game, Stadia does not charge you anything extra to stream it. And here we go, the Game Pass. I only care about PC because I primarily play PC, so it looks like the base price is $9.99. All right, $10, the same price as Stadia, the same price as Sony. Nothing wrong being the same price as your competitors, that's only smart. But look at this, for a limited time, you get it for half price on PC. I guess it's because they consider PC a beta. You know what? I'll take it. Look at console price, $9.99. Still, $10, same price as their competitor. Pretty good. And what is this, Ultimate Gold? Ultimate is $14.99, so that's $15. What do you get with Ultimate here? It says includes Xbox Live Gold, unlimited access to a, okay, so basically if you get Game Pass for the console, you do get access to Game Pass, but you can't really play them online unless you also pay for Live. But looks for $5 more, they throw Live in there. Okay, well, I guess that's cool for consoles. I mean, they kind of did it to themselves. They made themselves have to pay to play online, and because of that, they have to pay more than PC does. Well, that's just whatever. All right. So now that I have Game Pass, let's go ahead and carry that on to the Xcloud. Yes, Xcloud is still very much in beta because they promised it would be on every screen, but currently it's only limited to Android devices. Believe it or not, I don't have that big of a complaint about it because, hey, that's just how it is with new tech. Sometimes they roll it out in small stages, then they expand on it. So I'm going to give it a pass. I mean, it is a beta, but I'm sure it will improve. Well, anyhow, now that I'm paying for Game Pass and I have access to these games, what do I got to do to play them on Xcloud? Oh God!
Jesus fuck!
God!
Microsoft's cloud gaming service, Project Xcloud, is arriving in September and will be included for free with Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. Meaning you'll be able to play over 100 Xbox Game Pass titles on your phone or tablet.
Hold on, what the fuck do you mean it's going to be included for free in Game Pass Ultimate? For both PC and console, it's clear that access to Game Pass is just $9.99, just $10 a month. Why do I have to pay an additional $5 for Ultimate? I just want to play the games I already have access to in a Game Pass. Why are you upselling me? This isn't free. I'm paying for Game Pass on my PC. For me to play the games on my PC, it's cheaper for me to play it on my PC than it is in the cloud. Why? Oh shit, and I know what some of y'all are thinking. Oh, well, it costs more because they're streaming it to you in the cloud and whatever. Well, that doesn't count for Google Stadia. I don't pay any additional fee to stream a game in Google Stadia. I just pay for access to the game. What about PlayStation Now? They're not charging me any additional fee to play it. Nope, base price, $10 to stream it to me. So explain to me right now why I have to pay $5 more on Xcloud than I do on Stadia and I do on PlayStation Now. Oh, and this is where they try to say, well, it's because Xcloud or Game Pass has way more games than Stadia. It does have more games than PlayStation Now. PlayStation Now has over 800 games, and even then, you can clearly see it's not priced based off the games, because it's only $10 if I play it on my PC or console. It's $15 to play it in the cloud. Explain to me, if the base price to have access to Game Pass is $10 on both PC and console, why am I paying $5 additional to have it streamed to me from Xcloud? The only way you can say that makes any sense is if they're charging me for the stream, which neither Stadia nor PlayStation Now is doing. This right here is the equivalent of making a PC player pay an extra fee to play online. That's what this is right now. So what I want everybody to sit down and think about, is this worth it to you? You know you don't have to pay it. You know they're only charging you because they think you will pay it. Do you have the fucking fortitude? Do you have the testicular fortitude to not pay this price and wait for it to go back to the base $10? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, depending on if you pay this shit or not, you're going to determine how all the platforms will treat streaming. If you want $15 to be the norm for streaming, if you want an additional stream tax, then you're going to pay this. But I urge you, resist the urge to buy into Xcloud right away. Wait until they lower the base price back down to $10. Make it to what it only costs the base price of Game Pass. You're doing yourselves a favor, and you're doing your fellow gamers a favor. I'm your boy Twiz. Don't forget to like, comment, follow, and subscribe. And as always, thank you so much for supporting my channel. Got that motherfucker! That's what you get, motherfucker! Take that motherfucker!
And how Microsoft is essentially making platforms that are made to sell Xbox Live Gold.
Laters, y'all.